Hello and welcome back to Roads Yet Traveled. We will be continuing where we left off with Rhoun, obviously. If you recall in the previous videos, because it has been a while, Rhoun and Tucker are supposed to go on a little bit of a day off type of thing. Rhoun said that he's going to take Tucker to a special place. He has it all planned. He's all excited to take him. And Tucker's, I guess, excited for it too because, despite the fact that he is able to roam around, technically, he has just been stuck with his guardians, and he has just been stuck with Rhoun and Mylo working, just basically working in the underbelly of the station. Which I suppose wouldn't be too different from the other people, but I wouldn't know, would I? Anywho, but, he's excited for the prospect of finally being able to just go visit more places, I guess. And Rhoun is excited to take him, too, on a little pseudo date. But it's not really a date because, it's just two dudes hanging out. Anyways, what else? We also have news that somebody from Allllllmost is coming. And more than likely, they already know that Tucker is there. So that's probably the reason for the visit. But it's also to investigate the whole Run incident and everything else that's been happening around. So yeah, there's that. What else? I'm trying to recap as much as possible because if I recall correctly, the last time that I recorded was in August of last year. And it has been a while. But it's okay, Cryptid. You're fine. But yeah. Anywho, so yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. So without further ado, let us continue Roads Yet Traveled. Day 18. Bud, can you get the lights? Rhoun? Hello? The room is silent, as it seems like the bed across from me is empty. I hope this isn't another dream. Sitting up, I rub my eyes and take a look around. Yeah, it seems like I'm alone again. Did they head out without me? I know that they were busy, but, they could have at least left me a message. My waking thoughts come to a halt as my eyes snap to my phone. Opening the monitor, I see a notification above the messaging app. Hey, Tucker. Sorry for not waking you up. I had to get a few things done this morning and I didn't want to stress you out. Maybe I should have said something. I'm gonna be busy today before we can hang out tomorrow, so I hope you don't mind spending the day with Mylo again. Maruk said that his assistant should be over to pick you up around the 10th mark, so I hope you didn't oversleep. Just try to enjoy yourself today. Well, not too much, because you should enjoy yourself tomorrow. But not that you shouldn't enjoy yourself today, I can't help but let out a small scoff as I scroll through the rest of the messages, all of which seem about as confused as the last. Sighing and stretching out my back, I let my phone down and stand up for the first time today. Damn, I slept like shit. At least I didn't wander around again. None of that somnambulism crap. But why did I sleep so poorly then? Oh, right. My mind goes back to what happened last night, and how I've barely had time to process any of it. With heavy thoughts, I step into the shower and start to get ready for the day. As the water rolls over me, I can't help but watch endless streams of ideas wash down the drain. I have 1,000 things to say about what happened, and yet, when can I? Certainly not today, not over text. What would I even say? Hey, hope your arm isn't malfunctioning again already. Shit. I think my hair's growing back too. I really hope that they have a good barber around here. I doubt I could do a good job with just a pair of scissors and a mirror. Void forgive me if they try to give me a bowl cut. Fuck. I don't even have time to worry about this shit. I need to be getting dressed. They really weren't kidding about this place, huh? It's just one thing after another. All cleaned up. I still have some time to loaf around until Tiu comes and nabs me for the day. Although, instead of relaxing, I find myself pacing up and down our tiny room. I figured my head would be clearer after rinsing off, but I can't stop worrying about all of this Sockness crap. I mean, even if I knew what it was coming, surely it won't just be dealt with after a day or so, right? Rhoun's already working so hard, and I mean, he'd probably be working hard regardless, but still. This whole Sockness situation is my fault anyways, and... No, it's not my fault. I gotta get that out of my head. I gently knocked the side of my head and lay back on my bed, staring at the ceiling. This sucks. I feel like 1,000 things are converging at once, and I'm not even at the eye of the storm. I really hope that he isn't making a mistake taking a day off to waste it hanging with me. Maybe I should just call it off. Make sure that they have time to finish everything that they need for the crew arriving. Yeah, maybe it's for the best. Reaching for my phone, my hand falters as the words of Mylo echo in my mind. I know that I have to take care of him, but isn't that what I'm doing? Making sure that they don't fuck things up more for themselves by associating with me? Covering my eyes, I let out a groan as I roll back and forth, completely unsure of what to do. This is the worst. I know that they need to take time off. Void, I've even told them such. But at such a crucial time? Surely it would be better to take a break after Sockness fucks off, right? No, this is for the best. They need this as much as I do. Anyways, it's not like I'm not looking forward to it. I definitely am. More so now that I've had time to think about it, really, but the timing just feels so bad. Besides the whole losing control of myself incident, everything seems like it was going, well, decently at least. I know the captain isn't worried, so hopefully it's just some random engineer coming to yell at Tyr. Not that they don't deserve it. Anyways, he said that he doubts that they know that I exist. So like, surely my guardian wouldn't have to get involved, right? All of this just to make sure that my roommate doesn't work himself to death, huh? Which, you know, seems surprisingly hard considering his line of work. Maybe I'll have time to ask Mylo about it. I'm sure that he could give me some pointers. I know that he's been dealing with this shit longer than I have. Sighing and rolling out of bed, I finish getting ready for the day and I slip on my jacket and collect my things, only coming to a pause as I notice my notebook sticking out of my backpack. I've updated it a few times since getting out of the cell, but since running out of paper, I kind of lost interest. I'm not even sure how to record some of the stuff that's been happening here anyways. I wonder if my monitor has like a notes app or something. I'm sure that would be useful too. Knock, knock, knock. Oh, well, I guess this is it. Checking my monitor and noting that it is exactly the 10th mark, I can only scoff as I double check my belongings and head for the door. Well, look at you. Ain't you clean up just right, huh? Last time I saw you, I was worried that you'd just fall over and collapse. Now look at ya. Does she mean yesterday? I can't help but laugh, which I almost feel was her desired outcome after all. Well, where are we off to today, huh? Boss man told me to take extra care to make sure that you get right where you need to go. Precious cargo type stuff, you know? Did Maruk not tell her? How can I... Oh, right. Almost forgot that she managed to give me her number. Sending her a quick message, she perks up as she pulls out her own monitor. The pit? Void. I ain't been down there in a minute. Well, best not to tell Grumpy about this one, Huh. She playfully ribs me, which almost ends up flooring me as she laughs to herself. I can hardly eke out a... What? Before she turns and starts heading down the hall. Barely managing to catch up, she doesn't even let me catch my breath as she just continues talking at me. So, heard you got a job around here too, huh? Took me a while to land this gig, so I can't pretend that I'm not a little jealous. What they got you doing? You showing us how to make alien super weapons? Or maybe like mind control? And here I thought that she stopped watching those old movies. Pulling out my monitor, I send her a message, and I guess it wasn't what she wanted to see, as her muzzle twists into a confused and wholly unimpressed frown. An errand boy? You know, I guess it makes sense, but like... Really? You sure? I kind of figured that it'd be something more... Well, I guess that kind of thing is useful around here. A lot more useful than I feel most days, Glad to see that she bounces back pretty quickly. Our one-sided conversation continues as she cheerfully recites her schedule and goes about explaining how a tri-lift works, whatever that is. We pass the library and other familiar signs as scores of Karain walk past us as the day is in full swing. It seems like having a little extra muscle about really keeps some of them away, as only one approaches, but she only ends up asking Tiu for directions. I could get used to being ignored like this. So, Tiny? Huh? Are they really just having you walk around and live with the crew? I'm not sure what convinced Maruk to sign off on that. I think I know. Seems like a weird decision to me, but hey, who am I to judge? She laughs to herself as we turn a corner, only for her to perk up and proclaim. Oh, hey, we're close! Double time now, we can't be late. Before bolting off. What? Wait! I thought that she was a mutt, not a fucking greyhound. Her tail wags as she watches me try and catch up, barely managing to run while not tripping over my oversized jacket. She brings her sprint down to a measured jog as I catch up, and we head down the final stretch. So, really, what are you doing here, huh? I can't imagine having you get lost in the tunnels is a good idea. You can say that again. And like, I know you're working with some executive, but, who is it again? Maruk wouldn't tell me. Figures. I'm cut off as I hear the sound of a maintenance door opening, and yet no one steps out. Very slowly, a muzzle peeks out from one of the sides, and Mylo cautiously steps out. Oh, hey there. You! Well, shoot. You're that swell little fellow that fixed my radio. How you doing? Oh, I'm alright. Is it working okay? Yeah, ain't had no troubles with it since. A real lifesaver you are. Don't mention it. I don't always get the chance to work with machinery like that, so it was a treat, really. Aw, you're a treat. Oh, hey Tucker. I'm glad that you can make it. You two know each other? Ah, yeah. Tucker here is my assistant. Oh, so you're the head of maintenance? Well, he's my boss's assistant. I'm just here to look after him today. We were just gonna head down to the maintenance hub. Do you need a lift? The pit? Well, might be worth checking in. Been a while since we did a routine check of the place. Well, doesn't maintenance send you reports? I thought that was, part of how our departments worked. You're supposed to. Doesn't mean it always happens. Oh dear. Well, you're free to come with us if you'd like. It's just a short elevator ride from here. Sure, don't mind if I do. Mylo perks up as he leads us into the bowels of the station, Tiu chatting away the whole time. Apparently, she feels slightly indebted to him, as Mylo asks for nothing in return for fixing her radio. Tiu insists that it's at least worth a drink, and is disappointed to find that Mylo doesn't imbibe. The ride is short, however, as we arrive at the central hub. Mylo starts to take off before noticing Tiu staring starry-eyed at the cables hanging from above. It's nice, right? Wow. There are so many safety violations here, I don't even want to count them. Well, have a good day. Bye. And with that, she dashes back into the elevator, waving at me as she goes. Mylo just looks stunned before he readjusts his jacket and mumbles out a... Oh, well, that could have gone worse, huh? Shall we? Laughing, I nod as we head into Rhoun's office. I'm a bit surprised Mylo feels so comfortable just walking in like this, but I guess I've seen Kess do the same. Rhoun doesn't seem all that anal about the rules anyways, so it's probably fine. He goes about setting some things up as I take a seat at the desk. So, I heard Rhoun's busy today, huh? You're lucky that he messaged me. Usually he forgets about stuff like that, and if he was even a mark later, I would have been halfway down some pipe and probably out of messaging range. Geez, that sounds rough. I guess it's probably worth noting that my monitor might not work everywhere though. By the way, do you know what Rhoun's doing anyways? He, didn't elaborate much this morning. Oh, I think he's finishing up some checks for that Socknose crew that's coming in. He said that he has to get a lot done so that we can take the day off tomorrow. Oh, you got him to take the day off? That's great! I guess I did in a way, hehe. Well, we shouldn't wait too long either. We've got some stuff to fix today. Not sure how much you'll be able to help, sorry, but if you're up for carrying some tools, I'd appreciate it. Ever smiling, he pauses for a moment before stepping away to fill what looks like a small satchel. After giving the bag one final shake, he comes over and begins to hand it to me, only to stop, lowering it and pulling out his monitor. A look of worry shoots across his muzzle as he goes about reading something. His large fingers start kneading the straps of the bag as his eyes move rapidly behind his glasses. Are you okay, Mylo? Give me a tick. I gotta read this. He continues fidgeting until he drops the bag and lets out a... shit. Before walking over and taking some things out of his bag. I'm really sorry, Tucker. A water pipe just broke in column A and I have to get there right now. I'll wait here, okay? I'll get something sorted out, I promise. Can I come with you? I can't understand when you... I'm sorry. This might be dangerous. Please just, stay here, okay? A bit taken aback by his nervous energy, I concede, as he whispers another, I'm sorry, and rushes out the door. I feel like I've been here before. I mean, this is still probably better than spending the whole day in my room, right? Maybe I can finally clean this place up now. Hopping off my stool, I walk around the room trying to take stock of everything, almost tripping a few times in the process. I know Rhoun said that he kind of knows where everything is, but I doubt that he actually does. And anyways, some of this stuff is a safety hazard. I mean, there's literally oil leaking on the floor over here. It's not like I got anything better to do for the next few marks. I have not made a dent in this at all. I knew that he had a lot of shit, but I've barely even cleaned the floor and there's still stuff laying around. At least I won't trip anymore. Sitting back on the desk, I fiddle with some of the more interesting junk that I found and watch as the projection lazily spins in front of me. I wonder if this thing has cable. Absent-mindedly clicking together some of the bits and bobs on the desk, I perk up as the door opens behind me. Expecting a frazzled hyena, I'm almost disappointed when I see... Oh, I've definitely been here before. We stare at each other for a good while until... So that's what he meant. When Mylo told me to take care of something, this is not what I was hoping for. Rubbing their brow, they pull out their monitor and send a few messages before turning back to me, somehow even more disappointed than before. Alright, get up. We've been over this. I know you can understand me. Anyways, pick up your stuff and let's go. I need some help today and you're all that's left, got it? Are they serious? I mean, I know Mylo and Rhoun trust them. But do they trust them with me? Surely it'd be better to call someone else and like, hey, quit zoning out. Why are all the men in my life like this? By the fucking void. Just pick up your shit and let's go, okay? Please? Still a bit nervous, but not wanting to antagonize them further, I pick up the satchel Mylo left for me and follow behind them as they head out. Well, this has gone just about as well as I thought it would have. Kess has just been mumbling under their breath the whole time while cursing out every little thing that seems to come their way. And they haven't even told me why I need to be here. I'm starting to think that I should have just stayed in that room. After a good hike, we come to a stop and Kess finally addresses me. Alright, let's get this over with. Go stand over there and when I turn this valve here, read out what's on those dials. If it goes above 600 TSI, something's going to need to be replaced. Try not to let it get into the red either. Seems like we're already dealing with one leak today. So don't get touchy with anything, okay? What? Are you even listening? Right. You can't talk for shit. Well, how in the fucking void have you been communicating with Mylo then? He said that you two have been talking, so what's the deal? Sighing and not wanting to push them further, I pull out my phone and turn on the monitor. They don't seem enthused. Well, that's not gonna work. Like fucking void, I'm gonna give you my number. Oh boy. A bit late for that. Who gave you the... Never mind. I should have expected this. If it makes you feel better, he told me not to message you. It doesn't. Figured. Anyways, none of this fucking matters if you can't read the gauges, which I'm assuming you can't. Looking over at the dial on the left of me, I almost certainly cannot, although I see no reason why I can't be taught. I know that Kering use a base of 10 decimal system like humans do. Can you just show me what numbers to look for? They sigh and type something, but I'm not going to be sure that they like the results. 600 looks like this. 600. I hate to say it, but the numbers on my monitor aren't in Karen. You might have to come over and show me on the dial itself. By the fucking... Practically stomping over, they grab the side of the dial and jab a clawed finger right into the glass. This is the number that's bad to go over, got it? If it gets close to that, yell or something, I don't fucking care. If it goes below 200 TSI, I'll have to increase the pressure, got it? Nodding, they angrily eye me up for a while before backing off and turning the corner, mumbling to themselves the whole time. Seems simple enough. I mean, even working with Mylo was more involved than this. I doubt that they'll really be impressed if I do a good job, but I should still try regardless. Okay, I'm turning it on. They almost dejectedly call out from across the way. Watching the dial, the hands start moving up slowly, as I can only assume Kess is increasing the pressure periodically until... Crack. Fuck! Falling back, I just barely get out of the way as part of the pipe juts out of the wall. It doesn't look like there are any cracks and the connections are holding, but the supports completely blew off. The fuck are you doing over there? Walking past me, they go to the panel and lower the pressure, inspecting the damage. Sensing I won't be offered any assistance, I get myself up and check for any injuries. Seems fine so far, although it seems like every time that I come down here I manage to cure a new one, so I'm not holding my breath. The fuck was that? They don't even pull out their monitor out of their pocket, only offering a, "Not now, I'm busy, okay?" Before reaching behind the device and adjusting something. Can you make yourself useful and grab my tools from over there? They wave a white finger past me, barely offering a modicum of tact, as they keep at whatever it is that they're doing. Scoffing, as if it were a joke or some kind, I stand stunned for a second before capitulating and dragging their kit back over. Without even a thanks, they start digging through it looking for something. I thought I said to say something before it got over 600, huh? You trying to cause another leak? Me? The thing basically exploded. What was I supposed to do? It didn't even reach 600 before this happened. Nothing but the sound of a wrench tightening a screw. I think they're just trying to get a rise out of me at this point. But still, what the fuck happened? Walking the length of the pipe, I don't really see anything wrong with it, but, like, something happened to it. Checking high and low, I don't spot anything until I notice a particularly wet area. Is it a leak? Reaching around the pipe, I don't feel any cracks, but it is fucking frigid. I didn't think that these would be that cold. Looking closer now, I can see that this whole section has bulged out slightly too. That can't be good. Sticking my head behind some wires and using my monitor to illuminate the dim grotto, I can just barely see back there. There isn't much, but I do feel a cold breeze, colder than usual for down here. Running my free hand through the tangle of bullshit, I brush past something extremely chilly and quickly retracted. Kess? I think that there's something wrong here. Kess? This just feels childish, but with nothing better to do, I'll just have to wait for them to be not so busy. Which, fortunately, doesn't take too long, as they pull themselves off the box and sigh, rubbing their brow. Ahem. Kess, come on, I'm trying to help. You've helped enough. This thing's shot. Don't even know when I have time to replace it. Kess? What? Rolling my eyes, I gesture to the wetted bulge in the pipe. They don't seem to follow, or perhaps they just don't care to. Eventually, though, after much foot tapping, something snaps and they start walking my way. They don't seem too happy about it, though. First, you don't listen to my instructions, then a pipe almost bursts on my watch, and now, what? Wasting my time? Why Capt keeps you around, I'll never fucking... They cut themselves off as they notice the water condensing around my hand. Batting me out of the way, they push in and place a paw on the pipe, almost recoiling at the cold. By the... Reaching behind the cables, they pull them to the side and reveal another power box of some kind. I can clearly see now that the frost has started to grow on its edges, and part of it looks like they're gonna fall off. Fucking void. That isn't good. Now I have to figure out whoever installed this piece of shit incorrectly. Pulling out their monitor, they jot down some serial numbers before opening it up for a call. Hey, yeah, it's me. I need some numbers run through the files. Got a faulty install on what looks like a coolant system. Can't tell from here. You ready? Yeah. Let me put you on speaker. Okay, can you hear me? Yeah, all good. Kess flips through their notes, reading off the lengthy serial codes as the person on the other side grunts in acknowledgement. Well, who do I need to yell at? Assistant Director Law? These installations were done a while ago. So, who was it? Well, they were done 5 cycles ago. I don't really care when they were done, Fuck, sorry. It's alright. Do you need me to schedule it to be fixed, or can you handle it today? Schedule something. I'm a bit short-handed right now. Really? It says here that you're with another crew. Kess awkwardly eyes me up before turning back to their monitor. Not really. Oh, an internet. I didn't think that we had any that came in... Wait. Try not to think about it too much. I'm not. Fucking filament. You gonna be okay? I'm as freaked out as the next guy that it's just walking around like that. You're on speaker, you know. So? I have to go. Just schedule this in, yeah. Almost blew the whole fucking pipe out. You got it. Barely looking at me, they grab their bag and gesture at me to follow, only offering a... let's go. Before heading along. Not really impressed with their act anymore. I collect my bag and follow along. To my surprise, Kess has actually spoken a bit since we've left our last post. Not much, but still. They reminded me of how to not fuck up another valve, and also that I'm walking too loudly. But that's like, kind of an improvement. Coming to another pipe in need of servicing, things go smoother this time, as the dial barely peaks 300 and Kess jots it down before we move along. It's another reprieve from the last time that I was down here, but I do still wish that I was with someone a bit more... personable. After the 4th valve, Kess, by their own words, takes us off-route and into a small rest area. They don't seem too interested in continuing any kind of conversation, so I take it upon myself to find a place to sit as I pull out my phone. Rolling it around in my hands, I decide to check in on my surrogate guardian. Hey, how are things going on your end? There was a pause before I get a response. I'm soaked. One of the pipes definitely burst. We're still not sure why. I've got engineering here helping, but man, I'm gonna need a new pair of boots after today. Are you alright? Me? I'm fine. Just a bit of water, I think. How are you? How's Kess? About the same. That sounds about right. Listen, Tucker, it's not your fault. Kess is just going to be Kess. That's just how they are. Do you think that you'll be okay until the end of the shift? Yeah, I think so. I just hope that... Hey, come on, we have places to be. Sighing, I send the message as is, and pick myself up, following behind the white wolf as we trudge back into the mire of the station's guts. A few marks pass in relative silence as the calming doldrum of work overtakes us. There are no other unfortunate mishaps or interesting discoveries, just the plodding of boots along the cold floors. Kess hasn't said as much as a word except to tell me when they're turning a valve, and maybe we're both better off without it. To say our relationship is strained would be putting it lightly. I'm just glad that I have Rhoun and Mylo to back me up. I'm not quite sure what I'd do otherwise. The dripping of the water is the only company as a cold cuts through me and I shiver slightly. We must be going pretty deep for it to be this cold. Not that I'm entirely sure how it all... I hate you. I hate you, and I just can't help it. They don't turn to me. They don't even stop walking. But I can only assume that message was for me. From how you walk, to how you sound, to... everything. Everything about you. I can't find a single thing that I like. And yet, everywhere I go, it's all that I hear about. From my crew, to my boss, to my best friend, it's just you. And why? Why? Tell me why. I know why. And the reason isn't good enough. Because you're different. You're new. You're extraordinary. Well, if you are, I don't see it. Not even the slightest. You're nothing. Just some daft kid being paraded around as something that he's not. You'll be a novelty soon, and then what? When my friends see what I see, what will you become? I don't even know why I even bother. I should just leave you down here to rot, but it seems as though I've missed my chance. I don't hate you, Kess. Shut up! They bound towards me, wrench in paw, yet somehow the snarl on their face is even more intimidating. They would never do anything. They know what I mean to Rhoun, what Mylo thinks of me. And yet, in this moment, I don't think that they care one bit. The wolf gives me no quarter. Either sweat or condensation drips down my face, yet it doesn't even have time to hit the floor before. Fuck! They slam their tool into one of the adjoining support pillars. I barely stay standing as I trip backwards, almost deafened by the sound. We're both left panting as the hall echoes back a sickening decay of what would have been my last moment. Time comes to a crawl as the ringing in my ears slowly dies down. My fingers uncurl and I grab my chest, heaving up some laden breaths that must have got stuck somewhere in my lungs. Barely supporting themselves on one of the pillars, Kess is hunched over, unmoving as a soft and shaky whimper escapes their lips. It's almost inaudible, and I'm sure that they wish that it were, but they don't seem interested in what I think. Eventually, they manage to gather themselves and straighten up, only offering me the sharpest of glances before collecting their things and walking off. Once I'm sure that they're out of sight, I collapse on the floor, my knees finally giving out. My shaky hands offer little in the way of support as my lightheadedness suddenly feels so heavy. I'm not sure how much time passes as I lay sprawled on the floor, but as my muscles regain their strength, I eventually pull myself up. This is not where I wanted to be today. Not like this. Not so soon. Panic rising, I look around and I'm greeted by possibly the best thing that I could ever see. A blue sign with white squares. Brushing away some of the cables, I can see a sign for the maintenance hub. Did Kess choose this place for that reason? No, surely this is just luck. Not wanting to push set luck, I grab my things and start following the signs. It's a bit easier with my phone light, helping spot the hidden ones, but it's still no easy process. Slowly trotting back, every little noise causes me to jump, as I can't help but feel like I'm being watched down here. It's just one thing after the next in these tunnels. Eventually though, with much trial and error, I think that I'm on the right path. And, not but a mark and a half later, I make my way back to the maintenance hub. A few faces look my way, but no one approaches as I head straight for Rhoun's office. Once inside, the weight of the world seems to lift off my shoulders and I can barely make it to the stool before collapsing. Pulling out my monitor, I see that it's barely eclipsed the 20th mark, which means Rhoun's probably going to be busy for at least another 8 marks or so. I guess I should get back to my room then, no reason to stay here anymore. Although, despite coming here a few times now, I really only know the signs for how to get to the hub, not the elevators. Let alone which buttons to push. I could ask Rhoun, but I doubt that he's going to be happy to hear that I'm wandering around alone. Mylo on the other paw. Opening my messages, I see that I have a few confused questions waiting in my inbox from said Karain. You just hope what? Tucker? Right. I got kinda cut off last time. Sorry about that. You can ignore those. Anyways, how do I get back to Rhoun's room from the hub? The elevator is your best bet. Why? Are you done already? I figured that that job was gonna take all day. Maybe you should work together more often. Right. So how do I get to the elevators exactly? Oh, right. Follow the signs that look like this. Elevator. Mylo, you just wrote the word elevator. What does that mean? What? Yeah, that's what the sign says. What is he? Oh. Mylo, my monitor translates Karain to my language, so the words that you just wrote don't look the same on my end. Can you show me some other way? Oh, by the filament. One tick. A few moments go by before I get another message. Shit, I'm sorry, Tucker. I'm getting pulled away. Head outside and look for a blue sign. Can you do that? Sensing a sudden urgency in his text, and not wanting to get stuck here all day, I head out and look around the upper floor. Looking up, I do indeed notice some signs that are only slightly hidden behind those loose cables. Okay, what next? Follow those. They should get you to the lift. Okay, then what? Which floor do I need to go to? Mylo? Fuck. Well, I can at least make my way there. I guess I can just try every button at that point. Following the signs proves fruitful as they lead me to one of the many elevators. Hopping on, I inspect the buttons and do my best to remember which Rhoun usually punches in to take us home. Hitting what I'm fairly sure is the right one, I prepare myself as the lift rockets upwards and quickly opens onto a new floor. This looks right, although from everything that I've seen so far, I could be way off base. Peeking around the corner though, I think that I'm in the right place. Despite what a questionably shitty day that I've had so far, I managed to zone out most of the Karain walking by me in the halls. I think the regulars around here are starting to get used to me. Although, to what extent remains to be seen. I really hope tomorrow's worth it. I still feel like I've barely scraped over what it means for Socknose to be coming here. What happens when they get here? And what happens after? I have a feeling that I should get ready for more days like this, because if today is anything to go by, well, it just might suck. I've known this though. I know that Rhoun has a job that isn't just taking care of me all day. Still, being an assistant that doesn't really do anything kinda leaves me with fuck all to do and no place to be. How am I supposed to assist with anything if I keep being handed off? It's fine. I'm sure something will come up. I could always ask the captain to see if she could reassign me to something. Although, knowing her, it would probably just be whatever entertains her the most. Maybe I'll just stay in my room for a few days while everything gets sorted out. Best not to step on any paws while they don't even know what's going on. It's fine. All I have to do is worry about tomorrow. After that, well, I'm sure we'll figure it out. Turning the corner to the library, I know that I don't have much further to go, and I'm quite proud that I made it back this far on my own. I know I technically did this route in reverse while asleep, but I'm not so sure that counts. So this is progress. Maybe soon enough I'll actually be able to perform some kind of assistant duties. Although I shouldn't get ahead of myself, I don't think that I've even left this column yet. Not that I'm entirely sure what that means. I figure it's kind of just like going to another building. Although that doesn't make sense because then why would... Oof! Fuck. Blindly turning the corner, I find myself getting floored as I've managed to bump into yet another Karain. Looking up, I noticed a rather short Karain rubbing his eyes before. Hey! Watch where... Oh, I'm sorry. Caught like a deer in headlights. They're almost too afraid to move as he looks down at me. His jaw drops and his tail curls up as he stammers out a few short words, all that fail to make any sense. By the void, you're real? Is the last thing that I hear him say before he scurries off in the other direction, yelping the whole way. I guess that works. Helping myself up and dusting off, I check to see if he's bumped into anyone else, but he's long gone. I mean, it's not the worst encounter that I've had with the Karain today. Making sure I didn't drop anything, I continue along and finally reach the executive suite. Swiping into the hallway, I take a seat on one of the benches and roll my shoulders a bit before laying back. Best not to get too worked up before tomorrow. Rhoun would be so worried if I was tired during our day off. Sighing and checking my monitor, I notice that it's getting a bit late and decide to just wait out here until he gets back. Finding a comfortable position, I lean back and simply wait. It's not long before I hear the sound of metal clanging together and turn to see Rhoun doing his best to swipe his keycard with his free paw. Eventually, he manages to get in and starts heading my way. His head is down and he's muttering something as he's walking, and he walks right past me. So much for waiting for him. He keeps going until he gets to our room and starts fumbling with his bag as he goes to swipe the card. Managing to find the right one, he swipes it and the door opens. And he steps in, the door closing behind him. Maybe I should have given him a heads up. Bud? I'm out in the hallway. Only a few moments pass before I hear a very muffled "What?" before our door shoots open and a very frazzled muzzle peeks out, giving him a gentle wave. He stares for a few seconds, utterly confounded, before rubbing his arm and walking over. "What are you... Did you get locked out?" "Nope." "Then... what?" "I was just waiting for you, bud. Figured that it'd be nice to sit out here for a second, that's all." Still with stars in his eyes, he sits down next to me as he scratches the back of his head. Well, how was your day?" "Sorry for disappearing this morning. I just wanted to get things done so that we could, well, you know." "No, totally, I get it. You can't be around every day, and hey, we get tomorrow off, so it's all good." "Right." He seems unconvinced, still nervously petting his arm. "Are you okay though, bud? I barely heard from you all day." No, I think I'm just nervous. I've been going over everything that I need to have done tomorrow 100 times, but it still feels like I'm forgetting something." Can't say that I don't know the feeling. Still, I feel like he's overreacting. Do you even know if Socknos is gonna audit your work at all, or is this all just like preparation? Well, Rhoun, you can't worry about it if you're not even sure it's gonna affect you. He slumps over, his head falling between his legs as he lets out the smallest of whines. I know. I sigh and roll my eyes, gently patting his back. His tail, scrunched up against the bench, does its best to wag all the same. Maybe. If there's time in the morning, I'll make sure to check one more time. It won't get in the way of our day off, I promise. I just want to check back at my office, just in case. That's fine, bud, of course. You want to head in then? He sheepishly nods before helping me get up as we head into our room for the night. A few marks pass as Rhoun triple checks some things on his monitor. We eat a light dinner and get ready for bed. Not many words are shared between us, however, and that's fine, but it does feel strange since we spent the whole day apart. He's starting to get fidgety too, constantly swiping back and forth between the same two screens. I think he's probably checked in enough for tonight. Hey Rhoun, hold on a minute. He nods before going back to his work. Tucker, did you end up making it back to your room? I'm sorry, I know it's like really late to ask that, but I just got back to the hub myself. Oh, yeah, I made it out. I'm with Rhoun now, getting ready for bed. Oh, that's good. I tried to ask Kess about it, but they left before I even got back. Did something happen? I think it was just a boring shift. They don't really enjoy my company either. I, left early to get lunch, by the way. Kess isn't updated on my dietary needs. Oh, should I have them read up on that? No. No. You're good. Just make sure that they're okay for me, will you? I'll try tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow? Aren't you roommates? I think that they're probably asleep already. They usually clock in kind of early. Oh, alright. I'm sorry, Mylo. I do hope that you have a good night. Thanks for checking in. Of course. Have a good day off work tomorrow. I will. Smiling, I put down my phone, noticing Rhoun is still muttering under his breath while looking at the same two spreadsheets. Rolling my eyes, I get up and tap his shoulder, only eliciting a small jump from him. You almost done, bud? Just this one more time. Rhoun? I say, bumping him with my head. Shush you. Let me just send out this last report. He says as he playfully pushes me away, his hand covering my whole face. Alright. I'm gonna go get cleaned up then. Be right out. He smiles and nods as I step into the bathroom to finish getting ready for bed. Almost to my surprise, the lights are out once I get out of the bathroom, and I think Rhoun is already in bed himself. Quickly slipping under the covers, I roll over, only to be met with him sheepishly staring at me. Was he watching the whole time? No, I doubt it. You alright, bud? He seemingly snaps out of the stupor before quickly responding. Yeah. And rolling onto his back. Well, are you excited for tomorrow? I think so. You think so? I'm excited and I don't even know where I'm going. Sorry, you're right. I'm excited too. So, where are we going exactly? I can't tell you that. It'd ruin the surprise. You're lucky my last surprise went over so well, or I'd force it out of you. Oh? Well, I could always try begging. I don't think that'd work either. Well, fine. Have it your way. I guess I'll find out soon enough. You will, bud. I promise. Yeah. Good night, Rhoun. Good night, Tucker. Even with the calm of the night, dead minutes have passed, and I still can't find sleep. There's some restless itch that can't be scratched at the back of my mind, and ignorance is the cause. All this preparing, this subterfuge, and for what? I understand that it's a big deal that Socknos is coming and everything, but the gravity of it all still hasn't really caught. Hmm, poor choice of words, but still. It's just one technician. Why all the fuss? Huh. 2 more days, huh? I guess everything that could be done has been done. All that I can do now is wait. Despite the general atmosphere of worry, no one seems consumed by it. At least, not more so than usual. Maybe my anxiety is getting to me. Anyways, I want to enjoy tomorrow, so I should just probably get to. Fuck, wait, let me just use the bathroom one more time. Getting up, I suddenly feel so heavy in the withering light, like there's some weight in the room dragging me down. Rhoun is already deep asleep, so I should do my best not to wake him. Slipping behind the door, I turn on the lights and relieve myself, only barely managing to not fall asleep right then and there. The cool air poks my skin with bumps, as I've got nothing but the company-mandated briefs on. Before I can flip the switch and head out, however, I get caught in the mirror. It's not particularly flattering, that thing looking back, but it's almost midnight, so like... Wait, who are you? A copper smile burns into the night. An eclipse so vibrant in hue you could call it the sun itself. It is not. A lonely thing sits on the horizon. A festering monolith, one cut from so many pieces of its ilk. Hewn from the corpses of titans, it stands but in defiance of grandeur. Too illogical to die. Carrion things gnaw at its flesh, yet their ignorance defies them. They beckon you, come, come, taste what is ours. Sup with us, savor what we cannot. You can't. I'm too afraid. Their wings unfold, horrid and mangled things, each of broken geometries. Then I feel it, that hallowed flame, boring into the back of my skull. Surely I need but reach out and... Day 19. Ugh. After much ruminating on whether or not to get up, I force myself off the side of the bed and embrace the morning with a smile. I don't actually smile, mind you, but through a dry mouth and chapped lips, I get pretty close before letting out another yawn. Looking around, I see that Rhoun's still asleep, and checking my monitor, I can tell that I've probably jumped the gun a bit. We could probably sleep for another mark or so, and be fine, but I have a feeling that I'm not going to be able to get back to bed. My mind is already filled with secretive promises of spending the day with my bud, and I can't help but get excited. The dude has access to basically everywhere on the station, and the know-how and wherewithal to get into the places that he doesn't. Still, this is Rhoun that I'm talking about. I should probably temper my expectations. He'd be excited to show me how they refill the vending machines. Which, honestly, I don't think that I'd complain too much about, as long as he has that dopey grin on his face while he explains it. Finally, making my way to the bathroom, I rinse off for the day and get changed, throwing on some company-mandated grays as I warm up. Stepping out of the bathroom, I find a fully dressed Rhoun fumbling with something on his desk. Stepping past him, I'm surprised when he casually acknowledges me with a small grin and a nod. A bit taken aback, I reply in kind before throwing my pajamas in the hamper and grabbing my phone. Taking up the spot next to him, he seems unperturbed as he keeps fiddling with something, placing some of the screws off to the side as he removes a panel from whatever it is that he's working on. Pulling out what looks like a battery, he inspects it before placing it to the side as well, inserting a new one that he had ready. Going to put it back together, a yawn cuts him short before he decides it's time to break the silence. You're up early. Am I? I think I've gotten up before you a few times now. Oh, Well, that doesn't mean that it's not early. Hmm, so what's this? Nothing important. Well, not really. It measures the air pressure. That sounds important on a space station, bud. What if there's actually a problem? There's like hundreds of these things on every floor. Most of the time, if one trips, we just ignore it. Oh. I almost feel silly for speaking up against someone who's definitely more experienced than I am, and I think he picks up on it as well. It's fine, bud. You had no way of knowing. Although I will say that this one is especially useless. It's so far from any window or vent that I'm almost content with leaving it off so it stops having to be replaced. Remember when I thought that I forgot something? This was it. I got a priority work order to fix like 10 of these things by the end of the day, so I hope you don't mind if we take a detour before our break. Hmm? Oh, no, it's fine. I can come with you. Yeah? Well, I don't think that I can stop you anymore. But yes, I'd like it if you did. It might actually be helpful. Sometimes these things are pretty tucked away and, well... He shrugs before gently grabbing one of my arms, bringing his paw to my hand to compare the two. I've got big paws. I can't but nervously laugh along until he drops my hand, desperate to hide whatever flush has come over my face. Grabbing the device, he shoves it into his bag before going to sit on his bed. I kind of figured that we'd be all ready to head out, but now that I'm looking at him, I realize that he's only half dressed for the day, as he hasn't even put on his boots yet. How many of these things do you think that we had to fix in a cycle? Were they just made poorly, or...? He sighs as he grabs said boots and begins slowly slipping them on. It depends. Some of them have been running fine for cycles now. In fact, many of the ones that initially triggered during the accident a few cycles back are still working. But some of the batches we got seem to have defects that can really shorten their lifespans. I'm surprised how casually he just brought that up. Was it a mistake? Or maybe he missed it himself, being too caught up in the technical minutiae of explaining something that the tragedy just slipped by him. The transmissions are usually fine. It's just the fuses sometimes short-circuit and need to be replaced. Or, if they keep going off with no sign of an actual issue, they just need to be reset, manually. Oh boy, and that's on you, huh? Not whoever manages them? Technically, it's security who manages them, but I think it's mostly automated. Security? Really? Well, if you're ever short-staffed, I'm sure that I could get Maruk to fix a few if I yell at him nice enough. He lets out a small chuff of a laugh before wiping his eyes and mushing his face about with his paws. Hey, bud. Do you want to rest for a bit? Maybe grab some breakfast before we head out? Breakfast? We could stop and get something, yeah. I don't think that he was planning on eating today. Listlessly, he continues getting ready for work, mumbling to himself about his schedule. I managed to catch some of it, but most of it is just too hushed to even be heard by him, I imagine. Helping him collect his things and get out of the door, we head out for the day towards one of the cafeterias. After a short breakfast, the day picks up pretty fast, and we start replacing some of the fuses on a few particularly annoying sensors. Despite his tepid mood about getting this done, Rhoun seems to be quite interested in actually showing me how to do these repairs. And, to his credit, he's doing a shockingly good job of explaining everything. It's not particularly hard, mind you, but I appreciate the extra effort. Okay, so what if I put it in backwards? Will it still work, or... no. You see these stripes here? He points a claw at the device, gently dragging it along the metallic strip. This side has 4 activators, while the others have 6. It wouldn't turn on if you tried. There is a little indicator here at the top as to which side is which. But if you can't read it, you could probably just remember the symbols. Nodding, I watch as he reinserts the piece, pushing it in with a final loud click. So, is that it? Do we move on to the next step, or? If only. The best way to test them is to send a relay to security and see if they can get a ping. If they don't, then something else might be wrong. Okay, how do we do that? For such a simple question, I'm a bit confused as to why his muzzle twists in such a way. Is he just afraid of message security, or? Leaning into the open wall panel, he cups the device with his paws and breathes on it, emptying his lungs until a small red light appears on the end. What? So these don't just test for absence of oxygen and air pressure. They can also test for other harmful emissions in the air. Like carbon dioxide? Are you serious? It's a bit silly, I know. Since they're usually secured behind a wall panel, the sensitivity on these things is disproportionately high, so even breathing on them can trigger a response. Mind you, like I said earlier, it takes a cascade of these going off before anyone even notices anything. So do I have to breathe on them too? Once again, his muzzle twists this way and that before. As my official assistant. Oh, shush. And a member of the Icaroi 2 maintenance team, I think it is only right that you put in the extra effort and help out with your boss's assignment. Oh, so you're my boss now, huh? Well, I mean, kinda. His tail stops wagging gently and curls up next to his leg. Rolling my eyes, I sigh and ultimately relent. Whatever you say, boss. I swear he almost knocked over his tool bag with how fast his tail starts to motor after hearing that. Laughing it off, we just head to the next site only to come to a bit of a traffic jam in the halls. Do we need to get over there, bud? Yeah. Wait here. I'll go get the cones. The what? He attempts to hand me his tool bag, which clatters to the floor, drawing a few unwanted eyes my way, before heading off. It's not long, however, before he comes back carrying some of those wet floor sign cones that I've seen him use before. Placing a few down, he does his best to usher people away from the halls. Most of them don't listen, but a few of them scurry off when they lock eyes with the alien staring them down. After the remaining crew walks off, we take down the hall plate where the sensor is hiding and get to work. Rhoun starts to get everything started before I butt in. Hey, bud, can I try this one? Huh? Why? Well, it's my job, ain't it? I just figured that I should help out. Okay. What's step 1? Turn off the power. Right. Despite the fact that this one seems to be broken, it could still have some kind of current going through it, and I see no reason to shock yourself trying to find out. Nodding, I flip one of the switches on the main board, only for nothing to happen. Rhoun chuckles, flipping it back on as he flips the correct switch this time. You'll get it. Step 2? Remove the sensor. Well, first you need to unlock it. His claws tap against the plastic locks, keeping it in place. That's its own step? Maybe steps 2 and 3 are kind of similar. Yeah. After popping out the device, Rhoun takes it and rolls it over in his paws. His eyes smother the device as he looks for any mechanical imperfections before handing it back to me. Step 5? Didn't you just skip step 4? Tilting his head, he starts counting on his fingers before his ears go back and his tail starts cleaning the floor behind him. Step 4? Remove the panel. Yep. Fiddling with the screwdriver, I place the piece on the ground as I slowly remove the screws, doing my best to make sure that they don't get lost. So, is it always a battery issue, or? No. But this one is. How can you tell? If it's a circuitry issue, we won't be able to tell until you change the battery anyways, so it's the same process there. But if the sensor itself were broken, it'd usually be visibly identifiable. I guess that explains why he is ogling it so closely earlier. And if it's another issue, like the strips being worn out or something wrong with the wiring, we'd have gotten a different alert. That's as good as answer as any. Taking out the last screws, I carefully pull out the plate off until... Fuck! I dropped the whole thing with a shout. What's wrong? I got startled. I think something dripped on me. His eyes shoot open, as any remaining fatigue seems to be purged from his system. Wipe your paw off, and don't pick that up again. What's wrong? I ask, wiping my hand on my jacket. Inspecting it closer, I don't see anything where I felt contact, but looking at the piece on the ground, I'm sure that I see something leaking out of it. What happened? The battery must have burst. It happens sometimes. Sorry if I scared you. Can I see your paw? Offering my paw to him, he gently takes it and turns it over a few times, closely inspecting the patch of skin where I could have sworn that I felt something. You should be fine. I just wanted to make sure. Being an alien and all, I should have been more careful. No, you're fine, Rhoun. What was that stuff anyways? Battery acid. But you should be fine. A little battery acid never killed anyone. I can only scoff at his attempt at humor as he carefully cleans up the small mess, taking time to inspect the sensor and seeing if it's all salvageable. I'm gonna assume that's a no. Do you have any extras? Probably. Let me... Digging through his bag, he pulls out a few out, counting each one as he goes. Just use this one for now. I'll figure out if I have enough later. He lets out a small huff and starts unscrewing the panel, handing me a new, less wet battery. Step 6? I think you skipped a step again. No, step 5 was freak out because you might have accidentally poisoned your alien friend. We're on step 6 now. I should really be writing these down. But, replace the battery? Good. You've almost got all the steps down, he says as he holds it out for me. Yeah, well, I am the best assistant in all of maintenance, so... Second best. Kess is the best. But you're a close second. You suck. Placing the battery in the slot, I force it in with a gentle click before taking the screwdriver from him and beginning working the screws back into place. I get about 2 screws in before I notice Rhoun stand up, clearly looking at something behind me. Turning over my shoulder, I see a mountain of a man walking towards us. By the fucking eye, he's almost as tall as Merowyn. What's going on here? We're fixing the pressure sensors, sir. He doesn't say anything, as his piercing blue eyes scour the sight before him. And did you need to close down this whole hallway to do that? Well, No, I guess not. It's been almost a mark. People have been complaining. Have they? They didn't say anything to me. He doesn't respond, instead just caressing his arms and taking in a deep breath as Rhoun squirms where he stands. I was starting to hope Maruk was the only jackass on the security team, but it seems like that was in vain. What's that doing here anyways? The extra sensor? Well, the first one broke and... The alien. Tucker? He's my assistant. Wasn't that explained over a station-wide message? Sure, but I remember it was some kind of ceremonial position. Well, it is, but he offered to help out, so... People also complained about him. That he was wandering unattended and staring at them. Well, I'm sure that they had their reasons. But he's allowed to be out here. The captain said so herself. So what? You saying that they should take it up with her? Yes. For some reason, this utterly stuns the new Karain, as the thought flickers behind his eyes. Maybe he suddenly realized that I'm more effort than I'm worth, or maybe he just realized who he was talking to, but either way, he just shrugs it off. I guess. Still, I need this hallway cleared before the rush. We'll be done soon. Almost Maruk-esque in his intonation, he scoffs and lumbers off. After mentally cursing him out, I turn to Rhoun, who seems almost surprisingly okay after the whole ordeal. You alright, bud? Do you want to finish this up so that we can get out of here? Huh? No, we have time. We'll be okay. I want you to finish this. What was that anyways? Does that happen a lot? Sometimes. He was right about the hallway. I shouldn't have cut it off completely. Even so, he should have been nicer about it. I can't argue there. I could talk to Maruk about it. About what? If he was really responding to a complaint, then he was just doing his job. I don't think that you can get him written up for being rude. Thinking back on it, I guess he really wasn't all that forceful. He was arguably nicer than Maruk's been in the past. Maybe not to me, but at least to Rhoun he was. Are all the security team members like that? Oh, no. Some of them are even quite nice. If you catch them on a good day. I've seen him before though. He's just a bit... curt. Scoffing, he smiles and nudges the sensor towards me again. Come on, don't worry about that. I meant what I said. If anyone has any issues, they can tell the captain. You're allowed to be here, bud. And despite what he said, I'm glad that you're my assistant. My face goes flush as his hand rubs against his, grabbing the sensor from his paw. Thank you, bud. Still only second best, though? Still only second best. Okay, step 6. By my count, we fixed 6 of the 10 sensors on our list, and it's already the 20th mark. At this rate, we're not going to be done until the 26th or so, and then what? It'll basically be time to turn in, and we'll have spent our whole day off working. I know Rhoun's the kind of guy who gets really engrossed in his work, but this is something else. So, Rhoun, we are planning on taking the day off at some point, right? Huh? Oh. In a bit. Why? In a bit? Are you worried that we're gonna run out of time? He stops pulling out his monitor before swiping through some screens. Walking around in front of him, I watch as he notices me staring at him through the projected menus before letting out a small laugh. Wiping it away, he readjusts his bag and announces, "We'll just do one more, okay? It's on the way anyways." On the way to... You're not gonna get it out of me that easily, bud. Brushing past me, he chuckles to himself as he heads down the hallway. Following behind him, a revelation crosses my mind that almost feels silly to think. Has Rhoun been more confident today? I mean, he's just shy, not incompetent, but I do feel like he has some kind of aura about him today. He shrugged off dealing with security so well, and he's even been making a lot of jokes. I'm probably just imagining things, but it's nice, so I won't complain. After a short trip and a bit more work, I found myself already halfway through the last repair for the day. I tighten a few more screws and pop the sensor into place with a satisfying click, although I'm a bit disheartened to see the light not go off until I realize that there's one last step. Turning to Rhoun, we kind of stare at each other for a few good seconds, practically playing chicken before I capitulate and lean over the small piece of hardware. Cupping my hands on the cold metal, I let out a deep breath and am surprisingly deeply relieved when I see a red light start rhythmically beeping on and off. Is it on? Looks like it. Guess this thing can detect alien carbon dioxide as well. I don't think it works like that. Well, I'm done for the day. You wouldn't happen to know of any cool places to go after work, would you? Alright, come on. After helping him clean up, we head back into the elevator and maybe, not so surprisingly, head down again. I probably should have guessed that any place Rhoun would want to show me would be below decks, but for some reason I'm still a bit surprised. After hopping off the lift and heading into one of the service tunnels, Rhoun picks the conversation back up. Are you worried about your job, Tucker? Huh? You said that you wanted to be helpful today, and you are. But you shouldn't have to worry about that. No one expects you to really do anything. Well, I can't live like that forever, can I? Well... no, I guess not. But still, you shouldn't have to worry about that stuff, bud. We'll figure it out when we have to, right? We? I say with about as much devilish intent as I do confusion. Well, I mean, we as a group. Like you and me. And your guardians. And the captain. Uh-huh. You know what I mean? You haven't even been here for a month yet, Tucker, let alone a cycle. Just try not to worry, okay? I sigh, relieving some of the tension in my shoulders as I stare into the receding shadows ahead of us. Yeah, you're right. Thanks, bud. So, how much does a director assistant get paid anyways? The echoes of our laughter bring new life to the lights ahead, and I can't help but see his huge, dopey smile. After a good 20 minutes of walking, we finally come to a locked door, which Rhoun is quick to prop himself up against. Oh my, a big mysterious door. I wonder where it could lead. Sorry it took so long, but I think we should still have enough time for the tour. I really think that you might enjoy this. I'm just glad to be able to hang out, bud. Right. Give me a second. He types a few things into a nearby console and that's where I'm going to leave it for today. So, we were expecting to spend the day with Rhoun, and we kind of did, but like this, we just saw the first half. It is very Rhoun-like to have to work on your day off. Not so much just because he's a busy guy, but because he kind of forgot that he was supposed to do something and now he has to actually do that thing before he gets to do the next thing. So that's very Rhoun-like, if you ask me. Thankfully, it was more of a bonding experience, I guess you could say. It was less of a like, oh, well, we have to go down into the tunnels again. We have to go do this. No, it's like, no, here, let me teach you how to, how to fix or perform maintenance on these sensors. Which, I mean, considering that this is technically Tucker's new job, it feels like it should be something that he should be able to do. I mean, it's like one of the more easier things to do. You also kind of get a sense that Rhoun has changed a little bit. He's become a bit more self-assured, I guess. He's a lot less scared sounding, a lot less sort of like in his own mind. I mean, he kind of is still a little bit scattered, but like a lot less. He's a lot more in the... There's a word or a phrase that I'm trying to look or think of. He's in the moment, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that was the right one. What else? We also got to meet one of Maruk's coworkers. I forget his name, his actual name. But yeah, the big guy. We also met another character that we have yet to be properly introduced to. And we got to spend some time with Mylo. Well, like only like a few minutes before we were passed off to Kess, which revealed, I believe, something that's going on with regards to what's going on with the three of them. I kind of have the feeling that... Actually, no. I already know what's more or less happening, so I don't want to... I don't want to spoil it. But there is a reason why Kess is the way he is. But yeah. Could I spoil? No, I don't want to spoil it. But suffice it to say that you're kind of... you're kind of a threat to Kess. Even though you shouldn't be. But you still kind of come off as a threat. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, what else? What else? Well, we're about to see Rhoun's little surprise, which will be pretty much just a Rhoun surprise. That's all I'm gonna say. It's very Rhoun for him to take you to where he's gonna take you. Anywho, so yeah. It's finally nice to read Roads Yet Traveled again. One of my favorite visual novels, and I'm not just saying that because... for obvious reasons. But yeah. I do look forward to reading more. Hopefully soon. But yeah, so what are your thoughts so far? Write it down in the comments, and thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Roads Yet Traveled yourself, you can do so by going down to the link in the description, which will have a direct link for the itch.io page where you can download the game and play it yourself. And of course, there's the Patreon, where you can subscribe and get early access to builds of Roads Yet Traveled, and all the behind the scenes things that Cryptid posts on there. So, like, throughout the development process, we were, I believe, were we? Actually, no, I was. But we did get like little bits and pieces about like what's going on, and you know, like, oh, here's some works in progress, etc., etc. But yeah, you know, you can do that. Subscribe if you want to support, you know, the project. It does help them. Also, if you want to support the channel, this one, you can subscribe to become a channel member, and you get access to these videos as they're being scheduled. Like, today, March 25th, people should be able to see these videos now, as soon as they upload them. But yeah, so, you know, you get to see them sooner. But yeah, do that. Also, Ko-fi, in case you want to support through there, or if you can't support by becoming a channel member because your country doesn't allow that. Because I know for some people, it wouldn't let them. Also, Rhoun. I should probably put some more books on there. Anyways, but yeah, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.